I'm back again with another countdown, this time for the Wii, which, despite my track record with it, I prefer over the PS3, and its game library, exclusive-wise, puts the PS3 to shame as well. Sorry PS3 fanboys, but you know it's true. Anyways, on to the countdown. Countdown, engage! Number 10. Super Smash Bros. Brawl. Wow, what a shocker. I'm sure most of you are probably saying, huh? Why is this so low? Well, hear me out. For starters, I played the hell out of the N64 version and like it more than Brawl. I missed out on Melee and the GameCube in general. Also, I'm not a fighting game junkie, even though Super Smash Bros. Isn't a fighting game technically. But look on the bright side, at least it made my list. Despite some gameplay issues that I don't like, as well as rehashing Final Smashes to the yin-yang, such as having every single Star Fox character with the same Landmaster despite how long it stays on the screen and amount of firepower, Super Smash Bros. Is still a good game, especially if you have 4 people in the room with you or online, but offline is where it's at. With a solid roster of mascots including Metal Gear Solid Snake and Sega Sonic the Hedgehog of all people, along with one of the finest story modes ever in a Nintendo game, Super Smash Bros. Brawl deserves to be in my top 10, even though it considers to be a bit overhyped, and was one of the games that made me buy a Wii in the first place. Number 9. The House of the Dead, Overkill. Who would have thought that shooting zombies as a secret FBI agent and Samuel L. Jackson while bobbing to old school 1970s music could be so much fun? And people say that Nintendo only allows kiddie games on the Wii? Sure they do! If you're blind and retarded, well, most new gen gamers kinda are. On-rail shooters were made for the Wii, and this game is no different. Not to mention how this game is in the Guinness Book of Records for most F-bombs dropped in the game. Over 100, I think? Also, the automatic shotgun is guard tier if you upgrade it to the max. House of the Dead Overkill is loads of fun with or without a second person to join the ride. I would recommend playing the game if you can take all the F-bombs. Samuel L. Jackson! Number 8. Oh wow, look what we have here! Metroid Other M, that game that most Metroid fans wouldn't believe doesn't exist. This game has gotten a lot of criticism for all the wrong reasons, and bad reviews from a stupid website not named IGN, amazingly, that I'm not gonna mention. I'll admit, Team Ninja's attempt at showing that Samus is actually human and has emotions, as opposed to the Shira man-hating emo Cloud Stripe that everyone wanted to see, wasn't portrayed well, and the whole switching between first and third person view with the Wiimote alone took time to get used to, but hey, Other M is the first Metroid game I've ever played, I'll be honest with you, and it's sad that a newbie like me fully understood what Samus was going through in comparison to what so-called Metroid fans believe. It's sad, really. Metroid Other M, despite what many people say about it, is still a good game, despite all the hate it's gotten. Take it from me, don't listen to other websites and reviews. Just think for yourself. Play the game for yourself and make up your mind from there. You may like it, you may not like it. It's all up to you. But seriously though, Metroid Other M is still very good. Just give it a try and don't listen to the idiots. Number 7. Sin and Punishment 2 Star Successor, the sequel to the N64 classic and the game that not many Wii owners have in their library. And why the hell not? This game is great! I think the best way to describe Sin and Punishment Star Successor is a new generation bullet hell. And it's easily one of the hardest Wii games out there where I wouldn't blame anybody for wimping out and playing on easy. Especially the final bosses. One in particular I can never beat with Kaichi, yet I slaughter him with Issa. Man, I hated that guy. Anybody who's played this game and beaten him with Kaichi will know damn well which boss I mean. I'll give you a hint. Bullet hell, that's all I'm gonna say. Normal mode is not that bad once you play it a second time, but you will die a lot on your first playthrough. But despite the hard difficulty and lackluster multiplayer, Sin and Punishment 2 is an absolute gem on the console that gets ripped a new one constantly for not having any good games. Blind retarded idiots. I recommend you play this. Yes, this is a theme going on here. And not wimp out at the end. Just don't. Number 6. Muramasa, the Demon Blade. Yet another gem that not many Wii owners have as well. Cause this game is damn good! I mean, look at it! The game is great, the gameplay is great, the game control is great with all control schemes accessible for the Wii available for it. I prefer the GameCube controller since this game plays a lot like Super Smash Bros. Brawl with it. The soundtrack is great, the Japanese voice acting is great, and the boss fights are great. Everything about Muramasa is great. And look at the graphics design. I could care less about graphics, but 2D hack and slashing that looks like Japanese oil paintings come to life? How can you not say no to that? This is a game that I would really, yes, I'm being a miss here, really recommend you play. The more people who own and play Muramasa the Demon Blade, the better in my opinion. Number 5. Punch-Out! Ah, Punch-Out. How much you kicked my ass the first time I played you, yet I still came back for more. That's how much I love you. What can I say? This game, you play as that little guy. That little guy right down there. Little Mac. Vying to be the best in the world at what he does. Totally not a Chris Jericho reference. Totally not. I was late on the Punch-Out bandwagon, but man am I glad I got on before I did, cause I had fun with this along with the older ones. Those who've played the older Punch-Out games would find the first campaign semi-easy, until you reach the second campaign, Title Offense, where it gets a bit harder, and if this is your first time playing Punch-Out, warning! You will get your ass kicked if you don't know what you're doing. Sure, you beat Glass Joe, but who hasn't? Oh wait, my little brother. Never mind. Seriously, Punch-Out, great game. Worthy to be one of my top 5 and a game that I recommend you play. As long as you don't suck at it, you'll do just fine.
Haha! Woohoo! Yeah!
Number 4.
It's game time!
No More Heroes, the first game. Both games are great, but the amount of things I like in the first one easily outweigh the second. Once again, you're that guy, the guy in the red jacket, Travis Touchdown, an anime otaku / professional wrestling fan with a beam katana that he bought over the internet, trying to kill 10 assassins, so he can get laid by a friend's prostitute. What I really love about No More Heroes 1 and 2, more specifically the first one, is how it never takes itself seriously for starters. And mowing down all of the regular enemies on the way to the assassin of choice with a barrage of over-the-top finisher such as Super Saiyan Travis never gets old. I'm not kidding, Super Saiyan Travis, look at him. Plus, I love the assassins in the first game a hell of a lot more than the ones in the second. Especially the final boss. I hated the final boss in the second game, it was cheap as balls. The final fight with Henry was way better. No More Heroes 1 was amazing. Well, not was amazing, it is amazing, and worthy to be in my top 5. I highly suggest you buy it, along with the sequel, cause it's worth a buy for the Wii. Matter of fact, a lot of games on the Wii are worth a buy, if you're not blind and retarded like most gamers are. Number 3. Resident Evil 4, the Wii edition. Ha! You mean the noob edition? No. That would be your mother, for not getting that abortion she always wanted. Does it really matter what console a game is on anyways? It's still Resident Evil 4, one of the greatest non-Resident Evil games, and game in general in the last decade. And as Cloud mentioned in his PS2 countdown, it's a lot of fun to kill people in this game, as long as you're not schizophrenically insane. Also, the enemies here are way different and more frightening than the zombies in the classics, such as a fat bastard running towards you with a freaking chainsaw of all things. There's also Elegante, Delago, blind Wolverines, a lot of enemies await you here, and it's fun to introduce them to a bullet right between their eyes, the back, or straight up their ass, seeing as how you're more armed to the teeth than ever. Resident Evil 4 revolutionized third-person shooting in general, and also is one of my most overplayed Wii games, hence the reason why it's my 3rd favorite game on the Nintendo Wii. Number 2. Super Mario Galaxy 2. This was the most difficult choice in this entire countdown, because either New Super Mario Bros. Wii, Super Mario Galaxy 1, or 2 had to come here. I loved the 2D Mario, well, New Super Mario Bros. Wii in the multiplayer, and Super Mario Galaxy 1 was the reason why I wanted a Wii in the first place. Well, one of the reasons. But Galaxy 2 improved from the first one, so I got the nod, plus it was a bit harder. Then I had to push it down to number 2 because I'm sure a lot of Wii countdowns would have this game as their number 1 choice. And I didn't want that. I wanted to be different. Anyways, Nintendo took what made the first Galaxy game great and turned it into an even bigger masterpiece with Galaxy 2. More creative level designs, more stars to hunt for, Yoshi returns in a 3D environment, you don't have to unlock all 120 stars to play as Luigi this time around, more power-ups like the Rock Mushroom and Cloud Flower, an awesome soundtrack as always, and a slightly more difficult attempt at collecting all the power stars is more than enough for me to give Super Mario Galaxy 2 my second choice as my favorite Wii game. And it's definitely a must-buy for all Wii game owners anyways. I mean, if you have a Wii and don't own Super Mario Galaxy 2, or the first one, what the hell is wrong with you? Go buy this game now! And now, number 1. Donkey Kong Country Returns. I'm sorry Mario, too many people would have had you as their number 1 choice, whether it be Super Mario Galaxy 1, 2, or New Super Mario Bros. Wii, so I had to improvise. It's been way too long since we've played a Donkey Kong Country game. I played the first game as a kid and it was awesome. This one made me realize even more than I already do that 2D platformers will always prevail over 3D platformers. This is what New Super Mario Bros. Wii should have been like in my opinion. Hell, this is what Kirby's Epic Yarn should have been like, but it wasn't. Luckily HAL Laboratory is gonna fix that problem in the Christmas season. Also, this is one of the few games out there that makes you feel accomplished after you beat a certain level. Donkey Kong Country Returns is hard, especially with 2 people, but the satisfaction of finally beating a level and collecting everything from it is reward in itself. And believe me, there's going to be a lot of levels where you have to collect a lot of crap. Sadly, you can only play as Dee Dee in multiplayer, there's no Kremlings or King K. Rool, and the swimming levels are gone. Those are the only things I didn't like about Donkey Kong Country Returns. Everything else outweighs it. The game is great, and it makes you put in the effort to beat it, which is why it's number 1 on my countdown. Definitely buy this, and if you're gonna go the multiplayer route, be sure Player 2 is good at these games, but you're gonna get game overs up the ass if they're not. The PS3 countdown is done, now the Wii countdown is done. Thank you for watching. Now this time around, I will get back to working on my SmackDown vs. Raw 2011 CAW montage. In the meanwhile, later people, adios!